It was impossible not to be consumed with the Casey Anthony trial in 2011. Her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee, disappeared in June 2008. Her body was found in a wooded area not far from her grandparents' home 6 months later. The trial captivated the nation, and millions tuned in as Anthony was found not guilty of first-degree murder in 2011.
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
Post-trial, Anthony quickly became known as the most hated mom in America, as the press told the story of a woman who couldn't account for the whole month of time during which her child was missing, and whose defense involved an accidental drowning for which there was no eyewitness testimony. She told the AP in March 2017 that she still doesn't know how her daughter died, telling the outlet, "Based off what was in the media, I understand the reasons people feel angry toward me. I understand why people have the opinions that they do. People found me guilty long before I had my day in court." Child welfare organizations like the Florida Department of Children and Families focused the blame squarely on Anthony. A statement from the Bureau read, "Casey Anthony was responsible for her daughter's death because her actions or the lack of actions ultimately resulted or contributed in the death of the child." The Anthony case is no longer the biggest story in crime, but more than 10 years after the case went to trial, some might be wondering if Anthony still has a relationship with her parents. Here's what we know. For one, Casey and her father, George Anthony, reportedly didn't speak for several years following her trial, according to People. He opened up during an October 2019 episode of The Dr. Oz Show, saying he wrote a letter to Casey hoping for a fresh start. He explained, "I just want to let her know how I felt. I know of one thing I did say to her. I would love to see you, and I would love for Mom to know where you're at, how you're doing. I said, Casey, no matter what, I'm still your dad and I love you. That was hard for me, but you can't move on if you keep on holding all these things inside." George made it clear he wants to move forward, adding, "Even after what she's done to Kaylee, to her and I or anyone else, I just wanted Casey to know that I was ready to forgive her. At least I wanted to see her and talk to her. No matter if it was an hour or 5 minutes or whatever, I just wanted to just see her."
The memories are still there every single day.
But mom Cindy Anthony does not speak to her daughter, according to the Daily Mail in 2019. Cindy said, "As much as I miss her and I love her, I am dealing enough with my husband that I don't need her drama. I think about her all the time, but my life is with George. Casey and I agreed that it's just better we don't talk. You move on with your life. I can't continue to live in the past." Cindy is allegedly spending much of her time caring for her husband George, who suffered brain damage in a car accident in 2018. He was driving Cindy's car when he lost control of the vehicle, Cindy explained. They found that he had suffered a brain bleed after the accident, and that had led to parts of his brain dying, so he is never going to be the same again. For 3.5 months, I had to physically do everything for him. Although Casey called George after the crash and routinely checked in with her mom when he came home, it did little to repair their relationship. George and Cindy discussed his recovery in a 2019 interview with Dr. Oz, where George said he forgave his daughter.
"Those hugs that I got from her, they mean the most."
But Casey then reportedly told the Daily Mail, "It would take more than an I love you. He has to admit to things before he can heal. Until then, he is not going to do anything but suffer." It was after those comments that Cindy cut communication with Casey. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite true crimes are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.